Hello, I'm Lawrence Chard, and welcome to, or back to, our Chards Coin and Bullion Dealer YouTube channel. Today, I'm going to talk about the project that I made a note of a couple of years back. But the idea was a top 10 tricks pulled by coin and bullion dealers. The problem is that the list grew, and the last time I looked, we've got 22 items on the list. And a few days ago, I was thinking, okay, we might have to make it the top 20 tricks, and top 10 alliterates so much better. Meanwhile, we should have stuck at 12 and it could have been the dirty dozen dealers' dirty tricks. So I'm not going to talk about them all today. I'm just going to talk about the concept and just go through, if you like, a few bullet points about the points that we intend to talk about. Because one of the most annoying things that happens is when you go on somebody's YouTube channel, the first thing they say is, "Hello, have you subscribed to this channel?" Well, if you haven't yet, why not subscribe right now? And a thumbs up if you like it. Well, how do you know whether you like it or not? And a thumbs down if you don't like it. You don't know yet, so might remind you at the end. So, what have we got on the list there? The list I've got is not in order of importance. It's just in the order that I jotted them down. I might have to reshuffle it. But what you can do, if there's any particular topic that you want us to cover, tell us what you'd like to hear about, put it in the comments below, and if there's any that you don't want to hear about, well, you can put those in the comments as well. We don't mind. It's all welcome, good, bad or indifferent. So, first one on my list, misleading adverts and claims. We have already covered some of them in previous videos and on blogs on our site. And if you look at Silver Forum, you'll find there's lots of stuff on there that I also contribute to. And actually recently there was an ASA, that's Advertising Standards Authority, ruling about 5 coin and or bullion dealers who had complaints upheld against them. And I'm not going to name them there. If you want to have a look, you can go to the ASA ruling. In fact, we'll probably show you a screenshot of the ASA page so you can have a look for yourself. They're not the first coin and bullion dealers to be mentioned by the ASA. That would be a good advertising claim. I've seen on the ASA instead of on TV. So that's one bit. Next thing on my list, advertising hype. Well, some of this could come into the misleading adverts and claims, but in this case, I mainly mean exaggeration. And this includes dealers saying, we're the #1 in the UK, or the world's leading coin and bullion dealer. There's a lot of people doing that. There's at least 8 in the UK claim to be either #1 or the leading or the best or whatever it is. And if you look worldwide, there's probably 100. Next on the list, targeted ads. That's a bit niche. We'll cover that another day. Loss leaders is another one that cropped up just now. Funny enough, in the weekend paper, I saw an advert from a UK, not really a coin dealer, they're a marketing company, and every so often they do a special loss leader deal, usually on a gold sovereign. It's usually maybe £5 or £10 cheaper than we can sell it at, sometimes less than our actual cost when we buy from the mint. It includes free postage, and it usually comes in a capsule, and there's maybe some info with it. Some people are suckered in there to think, oh, well, this is the best deal around or the best value. There's often a clue there. And the clue is that you can often only buy one. And it may be one per customer or per household per year. And the reason they do this is to get your name on their mailing list. And then once you're on, you get mail shotted. It might be junk mail in the post. It'll be emails. It might be texts, it might be phone calls. Of course, you can actually request not to have them and you can opt out, but not everybody does. But what you'll find with loss leader companies like this is that what they follow up with is not a loss leader. It's a make it all back 10 times over deal. Often they're selling you overpriced stuff and junk. We'll go into that in more detail at some stage. Next thing on the list, bait and switch. Now, some people know what this means, a lot of people don't. And it ties in very well with loss leaders, actually. You advertise something that's a great deal, very competitive, and then when people phone you up, and very often you have to phone these companies, you can't do it online. Sometimes you can. And they'll go, oh yeah, well that's a good deal. Well actually we've got an even better one here. And then they'll sell you something, or try to sell you something, upsell you, something that they're making a bigger profit margin on, maybe something they get commission on. They might be quite pushy. And we've heard couple of years ago, we heard somebody's phone recording of one of these calls, and it was pathetic and it was dishonest. They were plugging away things that weren't good value at all and basically telling lies and deceiving their customers. So loss leaders and bait and switch can often go hand in hand. The next point, overcharging. Well, overcharging is what happens with these bait and switch people. What they follow it up with is just ridiculously expensive. It's not illegal, but a lot of people do it. Why people pay some of the prices and don't shop around, I don't know. There's a lot more I could say about it. And some people will say, well, it's not illegal to overcharge, nothing wrong with that, everyone's got a choice. Sure, but we'll discuss it in length at some other time. Affiliate marketing. I don't like affiliate marketing. A lot of people do it. And this is basically where the company says, if you introduce your friends to us, or you create a website or a web page or do a review, you get a special code. And if your friends buy from us, you will get a reward, commission, some kind of bonus. In a way, it's quite a good idea. I mean, we like people and our customers to recommend us to their friends, but we don't go and bribe them to do it. If you see or hear people recommending us, it's basically because they've dealt with us, they know we're good, and they're happy to recommend their friends. We aren't sort of ripping their friends off. They're getting the same good deal and the same value. We don't do it, and one of the reasons we don't do it, we've got high ethical standards, and we'd rather give everybody a great deal in the first place. Next point, fake coins and substandard coins. I banged on about these quite a lot because we see a lot of counterfeit and forgery sovereigns and other gold coins and silver coins. Fakes have always existed. They used to be very obvious. Some of them are getting cleverer now. Unfortunately, some of our competitors aren't getting much cleverer, or at least they're not getting any better at detecting fakes. And they're not getting better at weeding out substandard and poor quality damaged coins, polished coins, ex-jewellery things. We have gone on about those before. We've got lots of videos about how to spot fakes and what to try and avoid. We will be doing more about it in future. The next one, FOMO. Everyone knows this, I think, fear of missing out. Quite a few people advertise, and also it'll be the same if you phone them up. You must get this deal. If you miss it now, you'll never get it again. It's too good to be true. Don't fall for FOMO. Have a think about it. FOMO ties in with greed and fear, because a lot of salespeople will try and create fear and create greed, and this is part of the fear of missing out. We can give you a great deal now, but it's only available for the next 2 minutes or 30 seconds or whatever. Tomorrow it will be too late, the price will be higher, you'll miss out. Number 11 on my list at the minute, the gold confiscation scam. And this mainly arose from the USA and is used by a lot of American dealers, bullion dealers, coin dealers. It usually relates to 1933 gold coins, and it's to do with an order by Roosevelt to actually turn in your gold coins, but they were never confiscated. You just had to pay them in to the bank. You got paid in full for them. But then people use this. Well, they use the word confiscation, which is dishonest, and then they point out that, if you buy rare coins and pre-1933 coins, they can't be confiscated. That's not true. If the government can confiscate A, it can confiscate B. But the reason they're trying to plug you these older coins is usually they can make more profit margin on them. As simple as that, and they'll probably get commission for it. Some people might say, buy rare coins instead because they've got more chance of appreciation. It's possible, but if you buy an individual rare coins, you'll normally pay more for them, and nobody's going to work on 1% profit margin on rare and collectible coins. Whereas bullion coins, 1%, 2%, 0.5%, they're all fairly normal margins and very competitive. But you won't get that many high profile and high pressure salesmen pushing you into those unless they overprice them, because there's no room for them to make any big fat commissions out of you. Next one. Free postage and shipping. What's wrong with it being free? Well, nothing. If postage really was free, it'd be a great thing to do, but it's not free. It costs money. People who tell you it's free load it into the price of the product. And then what's more, if you buy 2 or 3 of the products, you're still paying the price, including 2 or 3 lots of postage. So overall, costs you money. Be a little bit sceptical is probably the right word about free postage. It's like a free lunch or free beer. Guaranteed buyback is often something pushed out by marketing people, high profile, high pressure ones, to make you feel a little bit more secure that, hey, we guarantee we'll buy your coins back at any time. Usually they don't guarantee what they'll pay you for them when they buy back. Of course, it's only going to work if the company's still there when you come to buy them back. The bit about buyback is weird because in our 60 years, we've hardly ever, until fairly recently, talked about buying back. We buy coins and we sell coins. We buy bullion, we sell bullion. So buy back implies that you only buy back what you've sold, your own things that you've sold from your own customers. We buy from anybody and we're competitive. So when you hear buyback, just think, oh. And then another one, lack of buyback. Some companies won't or don't buy back or are extremely reluctant. Now, you might say, well, how can I complain about guaranteed buyback on the one hand and complain about lack of buyback on the other? It's easy. People like us, we're real dealers, and there are lots of us about, and have been for a long time, buy and sell. We don't have to guarantee that we'll buy your coins back from you. We buy coins. The fact that we trade both ways, we understand both sides of the market. We know people, at any one given time, there are people wanting to sell coins, there are people wanting to buy coins. We stand in the middle and we make a market, and we make a competitive market because we know most people want a good deal, whichever way round you are. Next one, price matching. It's good, isn't it, when you can say, we will price match, or we'll match any price, or maybe we'll beat any price. But anybody who says we will price match or guarantee price match, only doing it because a lot of the time they're more expensive. So it makes them sound like goodies if they'll say, we'll price match. And an interesting thing is, and often it's a new company that has sprung up, and often very high profile, they put all these claims and things in. We will price match. When we read the small print, there's 1 or 2 companies that they won't price match against, and one of them is us. I wonder why. What else have we got? Plagiarists and copyright infringement. Well, copying people is something you can't really stop. But when we went online way back in 1998 and created our first website, we aimed to do the best quality photos that we could, and digital photography helps in that, and we still take a lot of the best quality coin and bullion photographs of anybody in the world. What gets annoying is when competitors go and infringe our copyright by using our pictures. It's unethical, it's dishonest, it's not right. I call it copyright theft. And our lawyers say, oh, you've got to be careful about saying theft because, well, yeah. It's probably like stealing a car and pocketing it. It's still not very nice. And over the years, we've seen lots of fellow dealers and competitors use our photos. And on places like eBay and Amazon, it's very commonplace. It's rife. We don't like it, and we do, like most companies who create anything good, we try our best to protect our intellectual property rights. And when I see a competitor using our photos, which they've got for nothing, just copying them off our website, and then they're competing with us, I don't like it. And I lose all respect for that dealer. And even when they stop doing it, it would take a long time for them to regain my trust. There are quite a few of them I don't like. Next one, exclusives. Well, it's nice to have something exclusive, isn't it? But if you're happy to pay for it, yeah, that's fine. Lots of mint exclusives. So this particular coin is exclusive to XYZ dealer is usually so XYZ dealer can actually charge you more for it and there's no competitors. So you can try and shop around, but it's not going to do you much good. If you like what they've got, well, okay. But when you say exclusive, just have a think about it. Sponsored links. Well, you might think this is a little bit like affiliate marketing, but no, it's basically sponsored links on search engines like Google or Bing or the others. Sure, search engines need to pay the wages and they need to get some income from it. But what you find is that whatever subject you type in, the top 3 results generally are going to be sponsored links and they cost money. Google and other search engines aren't doing it from the goodness of their heart. They're doing it because the person at number one there is paying more for the keywords that you've typed in, and the person who's second is paying nearly quite as much. It's a bit of an auction. And if you're going to do that as a business or as a dealer, it's costing you money, so you have to get it back from somewhere. If you sell many more products, well, fair enough. First, second, third, the top few in the sponsored links on search engines usually are more expensive. We actually do some Google AdWords, but we only do it very selectively, and we don't feel the need to actually increase our prices and profit margins or premiums as a result of it. So be careful of that. Don't just look at the top three on search engines. The next point here, we're 19 already, concealing the country. Quite often when you see exclusive offers and all sorts of things from some coin marketing companies, you'd be forgiven for thinking that the coin you're looking at is a British coin or a UK one. And often these dealers don't tell you which country it's from, or if they do, it's right down there on the last page in the small print. I looked at one just today on somebody's website, and it didn't say which country it was from. It said a British Isles coin. And when I looked at the photos of the coins, it overlaid one over the other. And by amazing coincidence, where it said whatever the country was, has been nearly obscured by the reverse of the coin. So you might be able to see the first letter and the last letter, and you've got to guess. I think the country or state involved on today's was Alderney, but I'm not quite sure. I looked at the page on the website because I thought it will tell me the country somewhere, and no, it didn't. I'm not sure now whether it had the Queen's head on or King Charles's head on it. But at a first glance, you'd think it was a British coin. And this wording about British Isles coins would fool a lot of people. An interesting thing is that UK coins never, or almost never, tell you that it's from the UK or Britain. Some older ones did, but they put it in Latin. Rex Brit, King of the Britons, or Reg Brit, Queen of the Britons, but it's not spelt out large. Another country or state that we often see concealed or covered up a little bit is Tristan da Cunha, a very remote island out somewhere. Takes you about 3 weeks to get there. And that's often abbreviated on the coin to TDC, which makes it harder to notice where you're from. And so a lot of dealers advertising gold sovereigns or other coins that happen to be from Tristan da Cunha or Alderney or somewhere else in the Channel Islands, Gibraltar, Solomon Islands, other obscure places, don't tell you what country they're from, and they almost certainly deliberetely cover up the lettering that tells you which country it's from. If it's there anywhere, maybe it's in the small print. It's not good, and we see it all the time that people have bought these coins and they think they're British ones. They think they're from the Royal Mint. Usually they're not. At number 20 on my list, I've got disappearing dealer. There'll be more than one, but the one big example that I never forget is Harvey Ross from Leeds, actually Harvey Michael Ross. And way back in, I don't know when it was, about the 1970s, he appeared almost out of nowhere and he became the UK's biggest and most competitive dealer. His pricing was really fiercely competitive. We did compete, we struggled a little bit, and it was the darling of the press at the time. If you read some financial advice thing about where to buy Kruger Vans, they'd say, buy them from Harvey Ross in Leeds. Unfortunately, Harvey Ross disappeared one day, and so did about £3 million worth of Kruger Vans and other gold coins that he'd got. And I think the current day value of the coins would have been 12 or 13 million pound or more. And I doubt whether anybody who lost money on that actually ever got it back. He disappeared to Brazil for years, and then he ended up coming back and was arrested and spent time in jail. Don't really like dwelling on it because it's not really good for the whole industry, but you've got to be aware that it can happen. What else have I got down here? Well, the tail end here, I've got selected review sites. Nowadays, most people who trade on the internet actually have some reviews on site, and there are several of these companies that you can kind of pair up with, team up with, or partner with, whatever you want to call it. And some are better than others. Some are easier to get 5-star reviews on, let us say, and easier for businesses to manage. For the first 50 years of our existence, review sites either didn't exist or we completely ignored them. And I used to think, well, somebody who comes and spends £50,000 or £100,000 or more on gold coins isn't going to want to put their name out in public and say, oh yes, I bought these from dealer XYZ, because of the security risk at home. Even when review sites cropped up, we never ever thought of asking anybody to give us a rating on them. But it's become a kind of curse of the modern internet age that you have to have reviews and review sites. So we joined in. We're delighted to say that ours are very high. We're something like 4.9 out of 5, which is about as high as you can go. There's always somebody that will complain because the postman delivered their special delivery package 10 minutes after 1 o'clock. By which time they're on the phone saying, where's my package? And we work mainly with Trustpilot, which is almost certainly one of the strictest ones, and we're proud to say that it works okay for us. I read a post on Silver Forum a couple of years ago that they'd filled in a review of their purchase from somebody, and there was something like 5 questions in the review. How many would you rate this company for quality? And they perhaps put 5. For value, they put like 1. For communication, they put about 2. And it was a mixed bag. I'm sure their opinions were valid, honest ones. And they were surprised because when they saw the review published, it showed 5 stars. So it picked and awarded the highest rate, not an average or the lowest. And that, I'm pretty sure, was FIFO. There are other reviews. People like Amazon and eBay kind of use it. Well, eBay, it's a feedback system. Reviews and review sites are well known for dishonest and sponsored sites, people using bots to go and put positive reviews on their products or the company's service, and also some people going out and using bots to put bad reviews on competitors' sites. So you have to be careful. The last point down here, well, I've written down for short SPIVs, and this is somebody used to use years ago, and this is where recommend a friend and you will get a bonus. You know, what's wrong with that? On the face of it, it's quite a good idea, isn't it? You deal with a company you like the product, you like what they do. Wouldn't you tell a friend? Well, probably yes. But when you get paid or rewarded for telling a friend and recommending them, is it still going to be an honest review? Is it going to be transparent? And, you know, the company you recommend is going to be making money out of your friend. They could pass on a discount to them. If you both get a discount or a reward, it's probably quite good. So, got mixed feelings on that, but it's rather like affiliate marketing. It's open to abuse, so we're a little bit cautious about using it. That's the end of my list.
So, as you were going through that list, I thought to myself, well, we do some of that as a company, so does that mean that we are part of the problem?
You're quite right. There are a few of those things where we join in to some extent. But when we do it very openly, very transparently, and there's usually a good reason. For example, a quick thing. There's one item at the minute that we got free postage on. It's just part of a special offer on that item, and we haven't actually added £5 or £6 to the price to do it, just to encourage a little bit. Give it an extra nudge, we'll do free postage. And in this case, it's free because we're not charging our customers for it. Bragging about who's the best or number one dealer. As it happens, this t-shirt arrived today, and it says Bullion Dealer of the Year. This is an award we won some years ago. You can read about it on our website if you want to hear. But this isn't us bragging. This is, we were voted this by customers, people from Bullion Directory's website. Oh, AdWords. I mentioned AdWords already. Yeah, we do a little bit of AdWord targeting on Google, you'll hardly ever see us coming up number one on the sponsored links. Quite often you'll find us coming up on number one on the ones after the sponsored links. What have I missed out?
There is the email marketing aspect of things. I mean, we never promise anything to anyone who subscribes to our emails. Obviously, we send mail shots out weekly to sell stock or to let customers know about new releases.
Yeah, that's right. Of course, if somebody's on our mailing list, it's because they've opted to be on there. There's probably a good reason that they have opted to be on her. They must like us, or like our prices, or like our deals. What else is on there? There must be something else in your mind there. Oh, we sell rare coins. But when somebody phones up and wants to buy 100 bullion sovereigns, we don't say, oh, well, great, but have you thought of buying some rare sovereigns, some older ones that are dated and in tip-top condition? Because we don't shit people. And we don't bait and switch. We'll delightedly sell you rare coins and collectible coins if you want them. Another thing, price matching. Occasionally we might price match, but we don't go and plug it out there. What we'll do, if somebody actually approaches us, and our customer service team might hate me or kick me for saying this, but we'll have a look, we'll have a think, and if it seems like there's a good reason to actually match or beat, then yes, we'll do it, because we are competitive. Having said that, about 90% of the time, it's no, that's the best deal you're going to get. But we will listen to people, and that's one of the things we're about. What have I missed there? Anything? I think that's it, is it? That's a preview of the delight you've got in store. If you subscribe to our website, and if you like what I'm talking about, give us a thumbs up. If you don't, give us a thumbs down. I've already said if there's any of those subjects that you really want us to cover, or any that you really don't want us to cover or hear about, well, you can tell us that as well. So, I'm whittling on too much. We hope you've enjoyed this video. We're looking forward to seeing you again soon. Bye for now.